sewing on a name tape's number one, obviously. So we thread our needle, sorry, doing this through a camera, thread your needle. You only need a single thread. This isn't going to have that much pressure on it, so you don't need to worry too much about it wearing off. And then we tie our knot as the previous video. So kind of like that. And then we've got our snips here. You can just snip that little tail off like that. So you've got a neat little knot. And for the sake of privacy, I'm not using my son's name tape. I'm using one of my work ones, or work label. So, two options. Either you sew it in half like that, where you fold it under, and then you can sew it onto the back of a jumper or a sock or anything like that. And then what I suggest doing is starting in here, in the gap, going up through both pieces of the label. I'm not using a needle here, and someone's going to, a thimble here, and someone's going to pull me up on it, but I don't think any of you will be using a thimble, so I don't think that's realistic. So we're then going to go back in opposite the thread that we come out of, and about 1/4 of an inch away, or yeah, kind of 0.75 of a centimetre, you're going to come back out through both layers of the name tape and just pull it tight. Okay, and that's your first stitch done. And then we go back in opposite the thread and come out again, going through both layers of the name tape. Okay, and what you end up with is a lovely little row of stitches like that. Way harder to do on film than normal. All right, there we go. So just pull through like that. All right, and what you want to do is you just want to keep this thread taut. Never ever bother having a thread longer than your arm, because it'll just get knotted. It's much more worthwhile just tying off and having shorter threads, because there's nothing worse than when you get to the end of something and suddenly you get a knot and you can't do anything about it. Okay, so we've got to the end of our name tape. There we go. And then here we're just going to tie off. And what that means is we'll go back in through all the layers and come out, let's do it a bit neater, come out there. And then having done that, you wrap around it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, like that. Pull it to the bottom, push your needle through, pull it up like that, okay? And that gives you a tiny little neat knot there. And then you can just, what we call lose your thread, which is where you pull it all the way through like that. And just, honestly, just snip that anywhere, like that. And there you have a perfectly sturdy name tape. It looks fairly neat. It's not going to come off. It's not going to go anywhere. And it's readable on both sides. So you